All right. Hey, welcome to the Wealth Edit launch in New Orleans. We're so excited to start our day with Kelsey Greenfield from Body Shoppe. Thank you for joining us today. So what we do with these launches is that we highlight the most interesting women that we can find in the city that we go to. And this time, Kelsey, we got to know her through the Pivot Fund, which is something that we can tell you a little bit about later. But Kelsey, I don't know if you want to say a few words before we start, but we're excited to work out with you this morning.
Yeah, I'm excited to work out with everybody, and it was so great to meet everybody through the Pivot Fund. That was such an awesome experience for me to go through as a new business owner, and I'm just excited for this opportunity. I put together a little kind of slow and low flow this morning just to wake everybody up. Nothing crazy. I know we have like a long day of learning and chatting and all that stuff. So just to get the blood flowing, get moving. So y'all are not going to really need anything. If you have a mat, great. If not, a towel is good. I know some people forgot their yoga mats, and that's totally fine. Just a towel is good for the knees, or really nothing. The ground works. But we're gonna get started whenever you guys are ready.
Perfect.
Y'all go ahead. All right, I'm gonna put some music on. I'll be just walking you guys through it. The number one thing at Body Shoppe and that I will keep reminding you is just to move how it feels good in your body. So I'm here to guide you and suggest some offerings about how to move, but kind of take it or leave it. This is your time. We're gonna go through like a 20-minute flow. So if you just wanna hang out in child's pose, that totally works too. And the nice thing is it's recorded, so you can really be doing anything and we don't know. So just as long as you're moving and breathing and feeling good, you're doing a good job.
Awesome.
All right, I'm gonna put on some music because that's what makes it all good. We're gonna get going. All right, y'all. So you can come on to your mat or onto the ground, wherever you are. We are gonna start in a seated position. I want you to find your sit bones and ground down from there and then rise up through the crown of the head, reaching those arms out east to west. We're gonna take a few deep breaths together. Inhale, reaching those arms up overhead. And then exhale, press the palms away. Sit a little bit taller. Good, a few more here. Inhaling, getting nice and tall in the body. Exhaling, dropping the shoulder, pressing those arms wide. Good, one more, just like that. Filling up the lungs, filling up the body, getting nice and big. Good, exhale, press it away. And then settling in here and taking a moment. Closing the eyes, dropping the shoulders, and going into a few deep clearing breaths. Full body inhale through the nose, filling up the belly, the ribs, the lungs, and then exhale. Let it go. And if you want to bring the hands to the heart and the belly or rest them on the legs here, find a spot that feels good for you. 2 more breaths just like that. Deep inhale through the nose. And then exhale, letting the shoulders roll down and back. Feeling the weight supported by gravity, by the mat beneath you. One more breath here. And as you settle into your space onto your mat, starting to take inventory of how the body is feeling this morning. So starting that full body scan from the top of the head, just checking in as you move down the body. Checking with the forehead and the jaw, the neck, across the shoulders, the chest, the upper back. Where those arms connected to your shoulder socket, maybe giving them a little roll. The ribs as you inhale and they expand. On down your spine. And into your hips. And taking a little extra moment there, our hips hold a lot of tension, both physical and emotional. So just checking in, asking, how are you this morning? the legs nice and heavy on the mat. And then as they rest on your feet, and the feet connect into the ground. And then zooming out and taking a more full body view. And noticing if anything is sticking out, if anything needs a little extra TLC this morning. If there's an intention for your movement. And while we're virtually apart, we're moving together, we're creating communities here. So maybe sending a little energy to each other. And then checking back in with your breath. Noticing how the inhale feels and where it connects with that exhale. And we're going to go into a few rounds of box breathing. So box breathing is a really good way to get into the parasympathetic nervous system, to get the body ready to move, to open up the body. And it's a 4-count inhale through the nose, a 4-count hold at the top, a 4-count exhale through the mouth, and then a 4-count hold at the bottom. I'll lead you all into this first one, taking a slow, steady breath in for 4, 3, filling up the lungs and the belly for 2, and then holding that breath at the top, just being still with it, allowing it to circulate through the body, and slowly breathing it out through the mouth, feeling the shoulders fall, the belly fall, holding it at the bottom. Good, one more time, slow, steady inhale. Feeling that expansion in the body, taking up space. And holding it at the top softly, allowing it to move through you. And then slowly blowing it out, releasing any tension that isn't serving you this morning, anything you want to let go of. And holding it at the bottom. Good, and then opening those eyes, reaching those arms out long, taking an inhale, reach it up to the sky. Exhale, twist it up over to the right. So as you move here, I want you to think about warming up the spine and activating your core. So that sensation is spiraling up into the sky and grounding down through those sit bones. Lots of length in the spine. Good, looking at the top, dropping that right hand to the ground, taking an inhale, finding a stretch up and over. Good, and then exhale, drop the shoulder away from the ear. One more inhale here, anchoring down through that left sit bone, big reach up to the and we switch sides. Finding that side body stretch, inhaling to create space. And then exhale, ease into it. Drop the shoulder, relax the jaw. One more time, full inhale. Good, exhale, pull it back up through center. And we're going to flip it into our tabletop position. Welcome everybody who's joining us. My name is Kelsey. So you want to find those hands right under your shoulders, knees right under your hips. Take a full inhale, drop the belly, lift the tail, shine your heart over. Exhale, press up and away from the ground, drop the head, tuck the tail. Nice rainbow spine here. One more, full body inhale. Drop the shoulders down and back, exhale, rounding through your spine. And then we're gonna meet back in that neutral spine, that flat tabletop back. The belly is lifted, the toes tuck under, and then pressing into your hands, into the balls of the feet, your anchor points. You're going to find a baby little hover there. Just 1 or 2 inches off the mat. We're starting to build a little bit of heat in the body. You all got it, just hold. For 4. For 3, can you breathe into the posture to strengthen where you can and then soften where you need. Good, and then sending those hips up to the side, taking your release in down dog. Dropping the ears right between your biceps. Maybe pedaling out the legs. Remember, this is for you to feel good moving in your body. If anything that I suggest or offer doesn't feel good, you know your body best. Find something that does. Good. Slowly bringing those knees back down to the ground and then extending one leg back. Good. So that right leg goes back. That left knee is right under the hip. Press and lift. It lifts and lower. Lift that back leg. Squeeze. Starting to fire up the booty. Press lift through the belly. And lift through the booty. A little bit quicker here. It's up and down. Now if you're in or on a hard floor without a mat, move a little slower here. Be gentle with that knee. You only got 2 of them, right? You've got 4. 3, connecting into your core and then moving from there. 2. 1, now hold that leg up. Tiny baby circles open. So imagine you're tracing a tennis ball. I want you to wrap that right hip to the ground. Lift your belly so you're stabilizing through your pelvis. Reverse that circle. But where we stabilize in one area, we can mobilize the other. So it's that give and take here. 3, 2, we find a little rainbow. Crisscross and lift. Tap it open and lift. One more, nice and steady. Squeeze those inner thighs. Lift it up to the sky. Good. And we pick it up a little. Cross and lift. Now as you move here, I want you to check in. Your hands should feel super light because that belly is lifted. Remember, where we stabilize in one area, we can mobilize in another. We're stabilizing the core, mobilizing the leg and the hip. Shoulders soft away from those ears. 3, 2, final pulse with that leg. Little lift, lift. Can you square those hips to the ground? Lengthen a little bit further from the crown of the head through the toe. Build that fire. 4, 3, 2, 1. Step back into the ball of that right foot. Press the heel back. Find a little stretch. Maybe slide it back even further. Reach those arms out even further. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Peel yourself up and through. Knee back in that tabletop position. Extending that left leg out. We lift that right knee up and down. Lift that leg up and down. Good. So as we start to pick up the pace, remember, listen to your body. Move how it feels good for you. It's early. Here we go. Up and left. Checking in with the breath at all times, that foundation. 4 more right here. We got it, friends. Good. 3. Final 2. Last one. We hold that leg up. Slide the shoulders down back. Little baby circle. The size of a tennis ball. You got 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse that circle for 8, 7. Belly tight, hands light. For 4, 3, 2, 1. We're crisscrossing it. Over, up, and open. Up, over, lift, cross. Now I like to kind of sync myself up with the music. It adds a little extra motivation for me. But y'all find a pace that feels good for you. Cross, lift. You got 4. Shoulders soft and long. Final 2 here. Final 1. Hold it high, tiny baby pulse. Good, so I want you to wrap that hip to the ground, lift that belly up. Beautiful, Lauren. You got 4, that's it. 3, 2, round down through the ball of the foot, stretching back. Good, so open up the back of the leg, and then maybe you slide it back further towards that child's pose, tail reaching towards hold it halfway. You slide it open and close. Now, as you open, you may notice that left hip wants to do a little rock. I want you to anchor it down using your core muscles. You've got 4 here. 3, 2, we're going to alternate that. It's down, halfway, open, and close. There it is. Down, up, open. Check in with your posture. Your chest is proud and confident, right? How are you showing up right here in this posture? Good, breathe in. We're almost there. Probably starting to feel that fire. Last one. Good, drop the leg down. We're gonna switch it out. Good, taking that left leg out, opening it up, lifting that inner thigh up and down. So here's your opportunity to move with a little bigger range. Stay connected into your core, shoulders slide down, back away from the ears, spine lengthens. You've got 4, 3, 2, 1, halfway, open and close. It doesn't have to open very big, maybe just a couple inches here. Yes, y'all. 2 more. 1 more. We alternated it down, halfway, open, close. Down, halfway, open, and close. 6 more. Keep that energy reaching out through your heels, reaching out through the crown of the head. Final 3. Final 2. Hang in there. Final 1. Ooh, we're going to take a quick little diamond stretch there. Feet together. Open up those knees. Take a forward fold here. Try to keep that spine nice and long. Taking an inhale, lengthening out through the crown of the head, and then exhale to fold. Good. 1 more just like that. Checking in with the body as we breathe. Using that exhale as a vehicle for release of any tension we're holding on to. It's early. We've got the whole day. We can shift our energy right here, right now. All right, my friends, we're going to come on down to our back. Finish out with some core work. So go ahead, lay it down, flat on your back. I want you to ground down through the back of the head, through the ribs, and through the tail. And then float those legs right up to tabletop. So the knees are stacked right over the hips. The belly is anchored down. Your tailbone is nice and heavy. Reaching those arms straight up to the sky. That right arm is going to extend back. That left leg is going to extend out. On an inhale, exhale, pull it in through center. Switch it out right here. Inhale, reach, exhale, hug it all back in. So our core is our center, right? It helps us walk and sit up tall. It helps us twist and reach, do all of our day-to-day stuff right here. We're warming it up, starting to fire it up. Good, 1 more each side. Inhale, think lengthen the body. Exhale, anchoring into that center. Good. Inhale for length. Exhale. Good. Next inhale, just reach those fingertips long. Exhale, curling the spine, pressing the palms towards the hips. Inhale, down. Exhale, reach, press. So all you're doing is lifting the heart up towards the sky and then maybe a little curl up and over those bottom ribs. If you need to take neck support, your hands can always come behind the head. You've got 3. Find that inhale and exhale, so important. Last one here. Hold that curl, hands come behind the head. We tap the toes, right and left. It's right, up and left. Now, if this doesn't feel good on the low back, I want you to drop the head. We can work from there. Remember, this is about feeling good in your body, so if something doesn't the power to make a change. Chest starts to lower and lift with the top of the leg. Down, curl up. Exhale. You got 4. Breathe. Final 2 here. 1. The head comes down. Both feet come down. Palms flip up to the sky. Find a lift in your heart. Reach it right to left. Right ankle, left ankle, right and left. Good. So we're getting that little lateral crunch here, side to side. Final 4. Final 3, 2, 1. One more big reach up through center. Can you lift your heart a little bit higher? Anchor your belly button down a little bit deeper. Inhale. Exhale, lift a tiny bit higher. And then roll it all back. Give your knees a hug. Take a little rock from hip to hip. Take a second, thank your body, right, for all it does, for waking up this morning, for signing up for this great day, for breathing, for your heart beating. It does a lot. It doesn't do a lot of things. And then drop those feet down to the ground. Windshield wiper your knees side to side. You can allow those hips to gently lift and rock up and down on the mat. Opening up the lower back. Let the knees fall to one side. Opening up that opposite arm. Taking an inhale into that spiraling of the spine. And then as you exhale, anchoring both sides of your ribs down onto the mat. One more deep breath in. And out. Good. And then taking it up and over to the other side. Opening up that opposite arm. Refocusing back into our breath. That expansion and then relaxing of the body on that exhale. One more deep breath. Back through center. You're going to extend those legs out long. Reach those arms overhead. It's called a good morning stretch. Right, like you're in bed, just waking up, reaching fingers through toes, getting that full body stretch. Inhale, reach a little bit further. And then exhale, float those fingertips up to the sky. Taking another inhale here. Exhale, nodding your chin to your chest. Slowly starting to feel it up. If you need to take hands behind the legs, helping out, do your thing. But sitting up nice and tall, inhale, grow, and then exhale, little hinge forward. If we need to bend the knees softly, we can bend the knees. What I want you to think about is lengthening that spine. So that's when you're going to open up the back of the legs. A lot of us are sticking in our hamstrings. We sit at a desk all day or in a car. This is your time to show your body some love. Inhale into the back of the legs, and then maybe exhale, hinge a little bit forward. Take one more inhale, reaching out through the crown of the head, through the heart. And then exhale, hinge. Good, drop the head, round the spine. And slowly peel it back up. And then finding a comfortable seated position, whether that's crisscross legs or sitting on the heels, reaching those arms out east to west, thumbs to the sky. Good, and before you move anything, I just want you to take an inhale and think about reaching those fingertips further east to west, dropping the shoulders down and back, feeling that energy travel across the chest and out through those fingertips in opposition. And then inhale, reaching those arms out long. Good, slowly starting to rise them up, stopping before you get to the shoulders. For another deep breath in. Exhale, traveling up overhead, dropping those shoulders away from the ears. But finding your tallest posture, right? Showing up in your space fully. Exhale, pulling those hands down through heart center. Closing the eyes. And taking this last closing minute to check back in, right? So we started with that body scan, with that box breathing. Both are really good tools to ground yourself in the present. You have something else in your practice. Now is the time to practice those mindfulness tools. So when we really need them in life, they're readily available. Taking that final inhale, reaching those arms up to the sky, spreading your fingers wide, get big in your body. I always like to close it out with some twinkle fingers or a little shimmy shake. Y'all, thank you so much. I hope everybody is feeling good, their body is warm, their brain is ready to get into some good conversation. I know we're going into an interview. We've got a class coming in here, so I'm gonna transition out and then meet you guys outside of here in a couple minutes.
1 second.
How's everybody feel?
So
Awesome.
good. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, I'll see you guys in a minute.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being here and just talking to us, chatting. This is what we do as we highlight interesting women in the city. And of course, you're at the top of our list. We love meeting you through the Pivot Fund, which we mentioned before the last session. But anyway, just tell us, if you wouldn't mind, you're the founder of the Body Shoppe, a boutique gym that offers a variety of classes. And also you have a new venture, Shake Shop, which we want to hear about. So just tell us, and that's superfood boosted shakes, smoothies, lattes, located inside Body Shoppe. So just tell us a little bit about you, your story.
Yeah, so I have always been a very active body. I was a gymnast growing up, and I also growing up dealt with a lot of mental health issues, a lot of anxiety, depression issues, and athletics definitely always kept that at bay. But it was kind of a structured thing in my life. So when I went to college and that dropped out of my life, things got a little bit hairy. It was my passion. It also was like a lot of what kept me kind of regulated. And so college was kind of a rough time trying to figure out like what I really loved to do. I was a marketing and Spanish major. I loved Spanish, thought marketing would always be super helpful. And then I graduated and I started working in marketing. I was sitting at a desk all day long. And my mental health took a pretty bad turn for the worst. I wasn't prioritizing movement because life gets busy. And that's when I kind of got back into the fitness space, now not doing athletics, but more in the boutique fitness world. And that's when I started teaching. I've always been kind of a natural teacher and love to share my passion for movement with other people. But I didn't really know that it could be a career. I always laugh. My dad kept being like, well, when are you going to get like a real job? And now 7 years down the line, he's like immensely proud of me. But it was kind of figuring out like what kind of career I could carve out for myself that I was happy about, mentally, physically, all of that. And so I was working in the fitness space, and there's a lot of toxic culture in fitness, and I was experiencing a lot of that. It was no longer making me happy. It was adding a lot of stress to my life, and kind of realized that there was space for it in New Orleans. We don't have a huge fitness community like you see in a lot of like coastal cities, and we have some great universities in town. I really connect with kind of that age group because that was a really hard time in my life, and I kind of wish I had another outlet that was like a healthy, feel-good space. And so those kind of two things were my motivating factors. Like there's a market for it outside of the market that already knew in boutique fitness, but there's an underserved population. and just to approach fitness in a different way. So like our whole foundation with Body Shoppe is to make fitness fun, to move in a way that feels good in your body, and to just show up as you are. I think there's a lot of this, I have to get in shape to go to the classes. You know, you guys just were in the room with me. The lights were a little bit brighter than normal, but usually it's super dark in there. So people can just feel comfortable coming as they are. The room is heated, although with COVID, times are a little weird with the masks, so it's not super heated now, but so everybody's sweating. Nobody's like self-conscious about crotch sweat. Like if you're moving and feeling good, like I'm like normalize crotch sweat, whatever, you know? And so a heated room will do that. So yeah, and that's kind of the purpose behind Body Shoppe. I also, I love leading people. And so being able to manage a team of like incredible humans who are making differences in people's lives in the way that they, the relationship they have with their body, and introducing kind of people to movement, or introducing to people to movement in a different way. It being less about like how it makes you look and more about how it makes you feel.
Yeah, I love that. And, you know, what I hear when you're talking, and one of the things that we oftentimes talk about on the Wealth Edit, and we're like interviewing women, are those women that like find their passions early in life and really have a heart for what they're doing, and how important that is to give you like that extra boost to keep like pushing and to create something that's different, that's a safe space for like, you know, where that passion can thrive. And I hear you talking, I'm like, I want to go to that gym, because I do. I had a knee replacement. I feel self-conscious about it. I'm always having to make modifications, you know, and it's really neat how you've turned that passion into a business. And not only have you turned it into a business, you've done a great job. Like Lauren and I are obsessed with your marketing, your logo, your
Totally.
Instagram. I mean, do you pull from your marketing background and college? Have you always been creative like that?
So my strength is definitely like I have a very clear sense of like what the brand is, and how it looks. I actually hired someone in-house to do our marketing. She's like a graphic design guru. I am very good at hiring for my weaknesses, and like digital design, graphic stuff, which is so important. It's not my strength. So I say I imported her from New York, but Instagram's a beautiful place. We connected through there. She is a phenomenal young woman. So what you see on Instagram, all of like the awesome like posts and like just all of our graphics and stuff, that's Antonia. So gotta give her a shout out. But my role in that is really just a strong sense of like what our story is and what the story we're trying to tell is, and then how to get that across to people who've never been in Body Shoppe, right? Because I have no doubt that if you come in, you're gonna feel that, you're gonna witness it, like, but how do you reach people that are maybe not in New Orleans? We have a digital streaming service now. How do I, you know, grow our reach beyond this one brick and mortar for now? And that's not opening another one right now, but in the future. And so, yeah, that's the fun part for me. And it comes kind of naturally because there's so much purpose behind it.
Totally. Well, and I mean, talk about that for a minute. So you had to shift overnight. I mean, we had to do that too with the Wealth Edit. Going digital was kind of in the long-term plan, not the short-term plan. Then COVID-19 hit. So tell us how you kind of navigated that. I mean, you were so resourceful.
And you did it.
Yeah.
You did a quick turnaround, because we were
Yes.
watching you.
Yeah.
You were like on it within.
It was 24-hour turnaround. So we closed on a Monday and we had a virtual class on a Tuesday. So we were up all night, like figuring it out. But we had more people in that Zoom class than we would have been able to have in our studio. And so one of like the things that one of my descriptive words for myself, like in our trainer bios, is I am resourceful and I'm resilient. And so I'm a problem solver. I approach things of like, there's always a solution. You just got to look for it. And a lot of times it's not the first thing you try, and that's okay. Like, don't be afraid to screw up. Like, we started with Zoom, and then we went through a million different iterations of like how to, and then the internet was terrible. And so we were like very inconsistent. People would tune in live. We were trying to create a community, like people could chat in, and keep that community. I think that's what makes group fitness super unique and draws a lot of people, is that it's a community thing. You could go on YouTube and you could do any video by yourself at home, but like, what would make you want to stay with Body Shoppe? Pay for it. There's a lot of free fitness around. And so these were things we were trying to, think about and then make in a virtual way, right? Community in person is much easier to foster. Community when people are all across the country going through a collective, trauma together. And how do we keep our community supported and connected? And so there was, again, lots of purpose behind us hustling and figuring it out. Like, we were hearing daily from people how it was like the one thing in their day that like they were looking forward to, or like holds them out of like the depressive state that I think as a world we were kind of like living in. Like, our baseline changed very quickly, and it was a lot lower, like lower energy, and it was just a scary time. So there was a lot of purpose behind hustling to get it going. And it's great because now we film every week. We've got over 100 subscribers to our On Demand all over the country, all over the world. Like, really, we've got a guy in Germany who's like loves it, shares it with all his friends. So it was really hard. It was really hard. We were 4 months old when we had to close. And so, but it's been now very rewarding being able to keep that going and expand our reach.
Well, we can identify with that because the Wealth Edit was a very similar situation. We launched on March 8th and then went into quarantine March 15th, and we had planned to do in-person gatherings as well, and had to make a shift, not as quickly as she did, but our motto has been like present over perfect. Like, we just have to keep trying. We try something and it works, or we don't. Some of them were like, let's scrap that. And I will say, and I don't know if you've seen this, but like, people have been very forgiving as well. There's just been a very sweet response to it. Like, we know you're trying, and after us trying, I know I am way more like patient with the other person that's trying to do it. Cause I'm like, I get it. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us what else you're working on, because it seems like you are always coming up with some way to diversify with the shakes and everything. What's next?
After we reopened, we took on Shake Shop, and so we built that out. So it's doing really well. We had someone in the studio we were subletting space to before, and COVID hit and things happened, and so we were like, we could do this. So it's really, I think it's growing that. It's figuring out just kind of how to engage new people. It's a tough time to grow the community. I think there's a lot of like uncertainty. I totally understand not everybody is comfortable coming into a fitness studio. I do, pride ourselves that we've made a safe space. Like, safety has always been the number one thing. But letting people who have never been in before, I think there's a lot of trust involved in when people are deciding to go out and do things in the world now. And so our focus is kind of on building trust and finding the best way to communicate that to people who aren't already in our community as members, in order to keep growing through this time. So that, and then also just developing talent. That's like a very, that's, I think, one of the pain points in fitness is finding really good talent that is on, connects to like our vibe, someone who is approachable and playful and, great at what they do. And so that's kind of where I'm focused now. We are growing the team, and this, I say it's allowed me more time during the pandemic. It hasn't. I'm probably busier than I was like right before we shut down. But just carving out time differently to either take the people we already have working here and help develop them further, or to just be kind of seeing who else is out. A lot of people have returned back to New Orleans, talent who's been living in New York or here or there. And so hiring is a big thing for us right now and a lot of my focus.
Well, we ask everybody this. First, we want to thank you for saying yes to the Wealth Edit, but it's important for women to feel comfortable talking about money. So we ask all of our participants this, but why did you say yes to the interview today?
I think that anytime we can make a connection, and even if there's one person that it resonates with, it's always, worth your time. I think sharing and being vulnerable, talking about money is not an easy thing. Talking about failures is not easy. Talking about success is easier, but when you hear the backstory, it's not so easy. And so I think just the more we can share and help one another out, I think the better. So anytime, especially in a group of women, when we can get together and just share our stories, there's always, through lines and things that resonate.
We learn so much from each other. So tell us, if someone's interested in learning more about being part of the Body Shoppe community, tell us how they can do that.
Yeah, so you can go to our website, bodyshopnola.com. You can stop in and say hey if you're in New Orleans. We're masked up and ready to greet you. But yeah, you can check out our website. We've got our on-demand up. So if you're not in New Orleans, you can check out, we've got a 3-day preview of our on-demand classes. We're really, really good about answering emails and social media. So we want to hear from you. If you want to be a part of the community or you're curious, just reach out. We love new friends.
Yay. Well, Kelsey, thank you so much. This was so fun, and it was the perfect way to start our day. And hopefully we're going to get by. I want to come and get a shake and
Yeah. And I'm excited for the ladies who are speaking later today. It's a really great lineup. So congrats to you guys.
Thank you so much.
Kelsey. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
You too. Bye, guys.